So the other day we looked at suspended second chords and suspended fourth chords. Great variations you can add to your chord vocabulary. They can sound really, really great, particularly on higher gain sounds, because they're not as muddy, to my ears at least, than using a third. But they add a little bit more flavor than just a straight power chord. But today, let's look at some more ways you can play just a power chord style. Now, don't forget, a power chord technically is a root fifth, or a 1 and a 5. There's no third. It's not major or minor. There's no second, or there's no fourth. So it's not a suspended chord. It's a 2-note chord. It doesn't mean you can't play all 6 strings on the guitar. It just means you're playing 2 different notes, and you're doubling up notes, typically in different octaves. So, the standard power chord that everybody knows is this sort of shape. Now, I don't have a super crunchy sound on today, so bear with me. Okay, there's a 3-string variety where I've got the octave on top. Same on the 6 string. Same with these open string variants. Okay. Now, as great as they are, and of course they are great, we're talking about adding extra tools in your toolkit, every extra chord in your vocabulary, extra color, whatever, that you can use whenever you need it. Now, for me, I'm not I don't often play sort of high rock sort of metal where you'll often play just straight 2 or 3 note power chords, which is great. But if you're slightly less gainy and you want to have a bit more body to your sound, but leaving the openness, which is beautiful, of a power chord, here are some voicings you might want to check out. Okay, some of these I guarantee you already know, but thinking about them in this way can be really good. Okay, so think of a standard G5. Instead of playing that one, now you might say, duh, I know that one. Well, yeah, but it's a G5. There's no sus, no second, no fourth, and it's not a major. You don't have the B in there like this, or like this. Way too muddy. So it's just a straight G5. Fantastic voicing. Okay, the next one, that would be my favorite, is an E power chord. Instead of just playing the bottom 3 strings, okay, you play this. Much nicer. The secret is you're muting the G string with the bottom of your 3rd finger. Okay? And then you get it to ring out. So think about... something about open strings on the guitar. When you can, you want to bring them in, because they're just, nothing sounds like them, and they ring and sound so great. Okay, so there's G5 and E5. Let's look at A. So A, you already know an A5. Okay, what you can do is add your pinky to bar the B and E strings on the 5th fret. Okay, and that will give you a lot more, again, body. Great sound there. So G5, E5, and A5. Okay, let's look at C. C, whatever cowboy chord, open chord, is my least favorite. I never play it. Now, as I'm not saying it's a bad chord, especially parts of it are really, really great. I just happen to never play that chord voicing. But if you wanted to play a power chord variation instead of this one, you could try this. Now, it's actually very, very similar. In fact, it's exactly the same notes, exactly the same octave. The difference is you've got the open G string, and as I said, open strings always sound great, so it's just got a slightly different color to it. So it's a cool one to check out. If you really want as well, you can add the 5th to double with your pinky. That way, again, it fattens out the sound, gives us some more body, still only playing 2 different notes. All right, D5, is another one here. Sure, but I'm more thinking instead of an open D chord with a major third, you don't play that high string, and it's just a fifth. And this one, I find bringing in the open A also really thickens it up. Especially when the bass guitar is covering the D, you don't really notice that the guitar it's got the extra A underneath, but it just fattens out the sound. So the difference. Beautiful voicing. Okay, another one is a replacement for bar chords, this time on the 6th string. So instead of playing, say, an F, okay, what you can do is this. Okay, all you're doing there, a bar chord, wrap your fingers around, and that note there in the middle, mute it. So you mute it with the bottom of your 4th finger. And then instead of having, you now have. Now the difference is you don't have the bottom string unless you've got big hands. And you can also fret the bottom one with your thumb. I can't do that. But again, if you're playing in a band or playing along with someone, you've got a bass guitar playing that bottom bass note, so it's not going to matter there. But you've got those nice treble strings, which are going to really fill out the sound, give it more body. That's a great one. Okay, you can do slightly the same on the A string. Think of a C power chord. So if you bar it all the way down but mute the B string with your pinky. Okay, that way you bring in just the 5th on top there, which can work well. Just fills it out a little bit more. It's not as good as the bottom E string for me, but it's another good one you can do. Okay, so there's an idea of some power chords, just to play a little bit more open voicings, play a few extra strings there, doubling some notes there. Still only doing 2 different notes, but doubling them up to give your power chords a lot more body. And it really is a beautiful, beautiful sound. Open strings are the absolute best. Good luck. See you next time.